Welcome to Seth's Daily Podcast. Without you guys, this wouldn't be possible. I want to thank you guys for subscribing. This is definitely a different setup for sure. Doing this on a phone is definitely not the same. And hopefully I don't have to do this much. Hopefully I don't have to do it on a phone much. Hopefully the computer starts working. But I'm blessed enough to have an interview with the Paranormal Trucker Podcast. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Great. We're doing good.
Trucking on.
Trucking on. Yeah.
My convoy is in the same frame. It's kind of unusual.
Yeah.
You got a rat behind you.
We may be doing this like this from now on. It's actually a little bit easier.
This is so much more convenient where we're sitting.
Yes.
You guys are gonna have to do something different. As far maybe set it up a little higher.
Well, that's
yeah, definitely. He's got him laying in our lap right now. It's one you can't see my belly.
No, we just have to do something a little different.
And I know you guys got an upcoming ghost hunting investigation. If you guys want to go into that, I know you don't want to give out the location, but if you want to give the I know you're going with the spooky family. I don't know if I could say that. But
yeah, I think there's a few of us going to check out some fairly interesting places. I don't know the exact location yet. They're kind of keeping it a little secret, which is, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm kind of nervous.
That's a good thing.
That's
Don
a good
Wrinkle,
thing.
don't show them your butt.
it's all good. A YouTube exclusive.
I don't know what it's with our dogs, and they want to show their butt to people.
Yeah, do you remember this scene from the movie? Where's the galaxy? You tell me where the galaxy's at.
It's a dog, man. It's half man and half dog.
Yeah.
Don Wrinkles for you.
Don Wrinkles.
But yeah, man, definitely look forward to. You guys are doing a lot of podcasts, ain't you?
Well, right now we're still doing mainly YouTube, but we are now.
Oh no, I mean at the investigation.
Oh, I'm not sure. I think
the spooky family is going to do theirs from the investigation.
Yeah,
and we'll record video and do our own thing. And
if we're allowed to, we'll have some sort of content. I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it may be very Blair Witch style, us running around with cell phones and stuff, but
Well, no, because we have our equipment now. I feel like a real ghost hunter with this equipment. We've got our EMF
and an EVP.
And an EVP, yes.
And then we got
and I got a metal detector.
Yeah. And then
you guys got a thermometer as well. That's a good thing to have, is a thermometer, a digital thermometer, because when spirits are around, the temperature goes down.
One on our phone.
Probably.
Yeah.
We could download a temperature app on our phone.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when they come, I had one. When they come around, the temperature definitely goes down. I mean, being touched by a ghost is definitely one of the creepiest experiences ever.
Now, I'm not sure if you know this or not, guys, but Seth is a former ghost hunter himself.
Well,
no, we didn't know.
We did not know that.
And he has quite the experience with the afterlife, we'll say. I guess spirits, I guess. That'd be better to say the spirits, right?
Right.
I mean, it don't matter, man. I mean, them, in my opinion, there's different spirits. There's demonic spirits. There's good spirits. There's evil spirits. Well, I guess we could say the same thing like a Bigfoot researcher, one of my friends said. He said that just like with humans, Bigfoot is good. There's some good. There's some that's hardworking, and then there's some that are evil. And I believe that's the same way with spirits as well.
It's the same way with people too. There's some really good people out there, and then there's some pieces of
not really good people.
Yeah.
Pieces of shit.
Yeah, he's an absolute pieces of shit.
Absolutely. And Large Marge, I know you are you have some Native American heritage, just
Yes.
just like me.
Yes.
And I'm definitely proud of my Native American heritage.
We might be
And
cousins.
what's that?
We might be cousins.
Yeah, I'm Cherokee.
Well, do you know, is any of your family a Sizemore?
I have no clue. I know my grandfather was very Native American. He was born in 1917, and then that's all I really know about it. I really don't know too much
You
about it.
research it. It's very
Definitely, yeah.
interesting. Well,
Yeah.
the reason I asked about the Sizemore was that's my great grandfather. He fathered between 54 and 57 children. They can't get an exact count. And they took him to court, and I have the court records where they got him for bigamy. So he was a horny little Cherokee.
I mean, that's definitely possible that a lot of people in Eastern Kentucky be kin just because of him.
Well, now you
They
two are
said if
actually.
every, they
You two
said
are.
if they said if every ancestor of Golden Hawk were to give $1, that they could build a monument as big as the White House. Now, there is a monument of him in Sayersville, in McGoffin County, at the courthouse, because they call him the father of McGoffin County.
Oh wow.
Golden Hawk Sizemore. Look it up, Google it. It's a really interesting story. But that's how my line comes in.
Now you
Oh, that's
two
awesome.
actually are from, well, you're not from the same area, but you kind of live in the same area now. And your family's from the same area, though, right?
Right,
Marge?
Floyd County.
Yeah,
Floyd County, and I live in Perry County now, which is just
fairly close to the same area over there.
Oh, my family's from Knott County and like Letcher County and all that stuff. I mean, I do have family in Perry, yeah, for sure, man. That's probably related somewhere down the line.
well. I'm sure we are. I'm sure we are.
I haven't did any research on it, but my fiance is
should.
actually from Perry County as well.
You know, side note off the show, if you want to look up anything on your ancestry, the Mormon Church has a free website. I think it's called Family Tree, but it doesn't cost anything, and they have just as much as Ancestry.com, and it's all free online.
Yeah, I'm
What's
sure
it called?
It's called,
Ancestry.
I think it's called Family Tree. It's the if you just Google the Mormon Church genealogy, it'll pull it up, and it's free to join. It don't cost anything, and they've got millions of records that you can research online.
Wow,
And
that's
it's all
awesome
free.
for sure. That's definitely awesome for sure.
So you should
And,
look it up. You should get on there and look it up.
Absolutely.
You
Absolutely,
once
they
you
definitely-
once you get on there and like you find one or two ancestors, then you're like hooked. Then you're like, oh, well, I gotta find out who their parents were and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
It
But
becomes
if
obsessive.
you find your ex on there, you might not like it too.
Well, no, you're not related to her, so not blood relation.
Well,
Oh no, I'm talking about ex
Maybe you
girlfriends
are.
from the past.
We do
Years
live in
ago.
Kentucky.
Yeah, we do live in Kentucky.
That's right,
Kentucky.
Kentucky.
oh gosh. So I seen you had the man, the myth, the legend himself, Adam Newsom, on your show not long ago.
Absolutely, and actually, he's going to be on October the 5th as well.
He's a character, man. He's an awesome dude.
No, I'm not familiar with that. Who is that?
We graduated high school together. Is he still do the pro-am wrestling?
He's
Oh
a
God, we saw him wrestle then. Was he
he's
a,
a,
at one time?
he wrestles for BCW.
BCW.
Was he a policeman at one
Yeah.
time?
I
Yeah,
have no clue.
You want out?
I said, was he a policeman at one time?
I don't think so.
Well, that
No,
must-
he's my age. We graduated,
okay, well, then that wouldn't
we
be him,
graduated high
'cause
school together.
I took you to oh my gosh, what was the or WCW?
Right,
We
I
went
remember that.
Bible college, and there was a policeman that actually wrestled, and he's
Yeah.
from this area. And
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I mean, it was quite funny. He was this little short dude, and he was wrestling this guy who was about 7 foot tall, and they sit there throwing each other all around the ring, and then finally he climbs up on top rope and jumps off on his back, puts a sleeper hold on him to win the match. He's just a whole down hero.
Oh, do you know Kid Cash from the WB?
No.
He used to fight in ECW as well. He was the television champion. I've had him on.
Yeah.
Wrestling to me, after Vince McMahon bought all of them up, I cannot even stand to watch it. It's just not. It's just not even fun.
Absolutely.
Well, no, back in the Macho Man and Hulk Hogan, Lex Luger, all those days, it was kind of fun then. I don't really get into it much anymore.
No.
I was in love with Stone Cold. Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Absolutely.
Me.
I didn't settle. I got my own Stone Cold.
Yeah. The Eastern Kentucky version.
That's it. That's exactly right.
And I know you guys have some ghost experiences in your own right as well.
Yes.
Definitely.
Kathy's probably more than I, because she grew up in a haunted house.
I did. And it was fun.
And she is.
To us, it wasn't really haunted. It's just like it was somebody that lived in the house with us that we couldn't see.
And she is sensitive to
Things.
things.
My environment.
Yeah.
I lived in a little house over at Green Meadows, and I saw a few things there that made me think that there was something haunting the place. And for some reason, it was just, I always thought it was a little kid. And Marge came over one weekend, and I was telling her, and she said, "Yeah, I feel something in here."
It was in that one center hallway area
Yeah.
part.
Was it residual or was it?
I don't
Do you
know.
think it was intelligent?
I never saw it.
No.
It was just, you would hear things, or I would see just out of the corner of my eye, see a shadow moving from the dining room into that hallway. And the
That
hallway
sounds residual. That sounds
the
residual
hallway
because
wasn't that big. It was only about maybe a 10 by 4 or something like that. And but I know the dog that we had at the time, he would sit there and stare for hours.
was it at the same time? Was it always at the
Yes.
same time?
No, it was at different times. Some of it was in the daytime, some of it was at night.
Then it was
Yep.
intelligent because the residual hauntings happen about at the same time, like at 3 a.m. all the time at my cousin's house. We would always see a mist walk to the bathroom and stuff.
Wow. Now, and then we've had a few experiences over here, and I had seen shadows, and in January it was crazy. It started at the 1st of January and went all the way to the end of it, and then it just stopped. And
Wow.
when it first started out was one morning, I mean, the TV woke me up, and it was as loud as it could be.
And this was during the night, like
And this
2,
was
3
it,
o'clock.
no, it was about
What time?
it was about 4:30 or 5 in the morning.
4:30. Yeah, before anybody was up.
The ghost
I
was
get up-
chilling
I get
watching
up and go to
TV.
Yeah, well, I get up and go to work normally about 5:30, just depending on where I've got to be. And but the TV was blaring, and it woke me up. And I'm sitting there thinking, well, maybe Marge couldn't sleep, got up and watched TV. I looked over, and she's laying there in bed, asleep. And I peeked my head around the door, and there's a guy sitting in the recliner with the table at the end of the couch. The light was on, and so I just jerked my pants on and took off down the hallway. And as I got in there where I could see, there was nobody there. but the TV was burning and the light was on, and I know those were off. I turned them off myself before I went to bed. But
Yeah, our house is so small that if we had left the TV on the living room, we would have known it.
yeah, we would have heard it.
Yeah.
And
We
then,
would have lit the whole house up.
and you know, and after that, it was a pantry door would open. You know, it sometimes in the day, sometimes at night. But
Sometimes while we were sitting there looking at it,
and sometimes while we were just sitting there watching it, and it would just open up. And it did that way. It was that way for a month, and then it stopped.
Wow.
And the last thing that happened was Sam, our lab, you know, and that kind of freaked me out a little bit because he went out and it was dark. It was probably 11 o'clock at night. It may have been a little bit later, but he ran out and we assumed he was chasing a deer. Well, our trailer kind of sits up on a hill, and then there's a big bottom out in front of it. And so he takes off. Well, I grabbed this flashlight that Marge has. It's, you know, I mean,
spotlight.
it's basically what it is. It'll basically shoot a laser beam from here to wherever. It's that bright. And so I found Sam, and he's way over at the before you go up the other side of the hill, and he's sniffing around there and all that stuff. Well, the people that owned the property down there had an old construction trailer parked, and it's about 450 feet away from where I was standing on the porch. And I followed Sam with that light. He ran behind that trailer, and not 1 second, I hear a noise over to my left, and about 150 feet off to the left, I see Sam come running out from behind the hill. And there is no way that dog was that fast. So I was sitting there thinking, you know, that, and what kind of weirded me out was, okay, did he go through a portal, or did I lose some time there? Because there's no way he could have made it in 1 second. And that was kind of weird, but that was the last thing that happened.
And then I
Wow.
cleansed the house. I burnt some sage, said a few crazy words, and then it stopped.
You went to a psychic as well, right?
I did go to a psychic. We had some other stuff that happened previously, and it got to the point where I was just sick of it. So I did go to a psychic, and she walked my my ex who had committed suicide. She walked him across into the light, and everything stopped immediately. So
Yep.
I
Well,
believe in
same.
all that stuff until they can prove to me it don't work. That's the way I say. I'm always open minded.
And you
Yeah.
know,
Well, that
we're-
psychic definitely was for real.
She did. You know, when I'll be honest with you, when she talking to me and telling me what she was doing in that, I was like, okay, this is kind of out there, but I'm gonna sit here and go through it, go through the motion. And I'm glad I did because it cleansed it.
Yeah.
I even had went to my priest and was telling my priest about all the stuff that was happening and stuff, and he basically gave me a Bible and told me he'd pray for me. I'm like, oh, okay, thanks. But there was some really significant stuff, so I was just getting tired of it. But it quit.
yeah, and it was like I said, it was weird. But now we have.
And if anybody out there's having problems in their house that they don't feel comfortable and all that stuff, don't feel ashamed to go talk to a psychic. They're very private, and there's one in every town.
I don't know any psychics. I know a couple of psychos.
There is definitely some legit
Sweetheart, don't
psychics
put
out
that
there.
stuff on me. Don't be
Some
giving out my
psychics,
secrets.
some psychics are good at their job for sure. I mean, there's some that aren't. There's some that just in it for money. There is. That's just like everything. But I mean, there is some good psychic get a spirit to the light.
Hey, I got a really good story I forgot about. I went and saw, speaking of psychics, me and my sister, well, let me back up real quick. I just found out 4 years ago that my father that raised me wasn't my biological father. So I have sisters. So anyway, now I met this sister. She takes me, we were in Florida. She takes me to see Teresa Kabuta, the, what's she called? The East or Long Island medium.
Yeah.
Well, we
Oh, I
went to
know who
see
that
her.
is.
Yes. So we went and seen her. Well, it was the show was great, everything was going great, and she was walking up because she had been walking through the audience. She was walking up the steps to go back on the stage to close the show out. And she was like in front of the section that I was sitting in. And all of a sudden she says, over here, right here in this section, she said, I'm seeing a bunch of trees. It seems like it's an important piece of property or something with the trees. Well, that's where my ex committed suicide. So I stood up and she said, okay, I'm also seeing the number 13. Well, my dad played minor league ball and his number was 13. So then she says, what is it with the tattoo of the hand? She goes, something about their hand. There's something wrong with one of the hands. Well, my dad has 2 fingers missing. And I had a tattoo on my shoulder with his hand on my shoulder with the 2 fingers missing. Well, I had a sleeved shirt on so nobody could see it. Then what else did she say?
I don't know what there.
Oh, and then she said, and it seems to be a fatherly figure, and he's telling you that the answer to your question is no. And my question was to him, I used to pray to him all the time, did he know that I wasn't his biological child? And that was the way she ended the show. So, ooh, I just got goosebumps.
Wow.
I love Teresa Caputa. I mean, and we didn't fill nothing out. Nobody gave any information. I mean, it was just weird. But
Absolutely.
if you get a chance to go see Teresa Caputa, you need to go because she is awesome.
Absolutely.
That's a
And
cool story.
what'd you say, man?
That's a pretty cool story.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
man.
I've seen her in Fort Myers Beach, Florida.
That's definitely creepy for sure.
It was pretty
And,
creepy because it was my dad and him both.
Well,
And
Wow.
they
it's
both come out in different ways.
it's probably creepy, but at the same time, I can't imagine the amount of relief that came across you after that.
It was. It was. And I knew it was him because who would know about his hand? I mean, that was just something kind of crazy.
Right.
So that kind of, and then when she was talking about the trees, she said, I see a head injury. And she put her hand on her head. She goes, did something happen to somebody with a head injury in the woods? And that's where he committed suicide, was in the woods on the piece of property we bought.
wow.
Yeah,
She's the best for sure.
I know.
And I know you guys are very interested in the CSX crash. If you want to go into that, PT.
Yeah, I mean, it's just something where it's so close, where it's so close to us. And what's mind-boggling is no one really knows. From what we've read and what we've found, it's just been, the kind of the conductor or the engineers. Pretty well, it sounds like an incident report, and the time frame that was given is so fast, and no one around here, which now granted it's 20 years ago, so I'm sure a lot of those guys have retired and moved on or passed on or whatever, but it's just so strange the amount of people around here that had no idea of anything. It's an incredibly quiet event, and it's a major event, and there's more questions than there are answers.
Well, and I didn't know anything about it until we saw they did an episode on Ancient Aliens and did a story on that.
That's
and
a
I
great
said,
show.
really? I said, really? So
We're
then I start
obsessed
looking.
with it.
So then I start looking a little more into it, and I said, oh, that's pretty cool. So when we did our first podcast, or maybe the second one, I told the story and all this, and basically all the information I could find was just that one MUFON report. Any place else I looked, it was the exact same word for word. So I read that off, and then I went as far as getting on Google Earth and getting down and just kind of seeing if I could find it on the Google Earth map. And I found a spot that the way they described it has to be it. And also on that map is right across the river from where all this supposedly happened is a house.
Yeah,
We
we
love
had
to go to this house.
going to the house and seeing if the people were around during that time, but then it might not be the best idea to just go knock on somebody's door.
Oh, come on, Bart. Oh, I mean,
Just go knock on somebody's door randomly.
PT. Come on, PT.
You gonna get Beagle to do it?
Yeah, we'll try to get Beagle to do it.
Yeah, no, I think we need to go, and just, all we got to do is just ask them. All they do is pull a gun and say, get the hell off the property. And, they won't have no quarrels with me. I'll get off the property.
Or they could not say anything and just shoot first and ask questions later.
Well, then we'll know they know some shit.
Well, I'd rather not. I'd rather my life
Then
not come
we
to
will
an
be
end.
one less person on our podcast.
Yeah, that's true. Then we'll have an immediate position to fill.
Too funny.
So Seth, you do a daily podcast. You have just an incredible amount of guests. How do you even begin to go about that?
Well, I try to have a daily podcast, but stuff like computers not wanting to work, or
Believe me, I know.
pillheads knocking down trees on power lines, stuff like that. Just giving an example, not that it really happened.
So, hypothetical, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, hypothetically, yes. But yeah, that actually did happen. A pillhead knocked down a tree and knocked out the power for 2 days, and then
There's pillheads in Eastern Kentucky?
Yeah, who knew?
Damn.
I don't believe
I
it.
thought maybe they transferred him in.
No, that's false. That's false. That's false flag. We don't have pillheads here.
Well, knowing Joe Biden, you don't know. He's going to give. He might try to get them more benefits. Might try to give them like. But why don't he ship them off to Mexico? The pillheads to Mexico.
Right.
I know, right?
But,
Joe Biden's an idiot.
your
Amen.
podcast
Speaking to the choir.
so many people from different walks of life, different areas. I mean, like how do you even just sit down and just wrap your head around getting into the groove of talking to politicians, and then talking to pro wrestlers, and then talking to dogmen, and then talking to paranormal truckers? I mean, how do you get into that mindset, and how do you do it every day?
Man, I do. Definitely doing it every day is definitely a very hard thing to do, man. But when you love what you do, man, it's easy. And honestly, I love each topic that I talk about. And we actually got some big news coming up. We're going to actually have somebody on from the UK soon.
Oh, really?
I can't go too much into detail and stuff, but it's going to be fun. It's a Bigfoot researching group.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Now we've got a couple people that you've actually turned us on to coming up. We're trying to work out some scheduling with those guys on our show.
Have you got up with Don Neal?
Not yet. No, okay, haven't got up with Don Neal, but we got up with Earl, and we got up with someone else. I'm going to try to keep that one under wraps for now. But we they have both agreed to do the show. We just have to get schedules lined out and worked out. You know how it goes.
Yeah, absolutely.
But now, as far as Donnell, we definitely want to get him on if we can. We're gonna continue to reach out and see if
Oh,
we can.
he'll do your podcast. I got him on the 28th. I'll talk to him.
Okay, good deal. Good deal.
Absolutely, dude. He's a big name in the Kentucky Bigfoot organization. I think he's one of their top people there. I've had the main guy from there on, Charlie Raymond. He's been on TV a bunch, and I've been in talks with Cliff Brockman. I don't know if you know who that is from Finding Bigfoot. I've been in talks with him.
BFRO.
Yeah, just can't figure out a date because he's filming all the time and stuff. He's a real busy guy.
Yeah. Now we did take a page from your book, and we've reached out to a couple of different politicians. I don't know that that's going to pan out, but we kind
Oh,
of
do you want? I can get you one for sure. Dr. Richard Van Dam. He's running for Congress in our area. I can get him on anytime for you guys.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, I know these two have plenty of questions for politicians.
He's a Republican running against Hal Rogers, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because in our current state,
Rogers.
in our current state, we have very, very concerned about the future of our country. So we're, especially being a trucker, I'm very concerned about the economy. So I have some questions also.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's
And you're concerned about self-driving,
Yeah,
about self-driving vehicles as well.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, I guess I can tell this. I'm not so much as an over-the-road trucker as I thought I was going to be, but I'm more of a emergency heavy wrecker driver. So I think I'll have a job for a while, even with self-drivers, because
you probably have a boom.
I might have a boom. I don't know.
Yeah.
You'll be doing that 24/7.
Yeah, I know.
All the toilet paper.
Until they
Take some toilet paper.
Yeah.
Well, Joe Biden might be he's gonna make the pandemic go as long so everybody will buy toilet paper, I guess. So we might not have toilet paper to get. Thanks, Joe Biden.
Right.
And I think what gets me about this, and Joe Biden's just a figurehead. I really think he has handlers telling him what to do.
Always a puppet.
Exactly. And the sad thing is that last year, well, not last year, because that was COVID, everything was shut down. But before that, I made more money than I ever made. Gas was cheaper than it had been in forever. And in 8 months,
kept more money.
And was able to stick a little more money in my pocket. And now, 7, 8 months in, at how things have changed. Gas. I went and got gas today. It was $3.15 a gallon. Spending, less than $2 for it last year. And and then all the taxes and stuff that they're wanting to do.
Well, and
we're already taxed to death. We're paying 38, 39% to the federal government, but then you have all your state and local taxes. Hell, every time you go buy gas or cigarettes, you're paying more taxes. You're paying sales tax for the state. You never own anything in the state of Kentucky because you have to pay property tax or some kind of luxury tax if you've got, we have an RV sitting out here. You have to pay a tax on that. So probably in reality, we're probably paying close to 50% of our income in taxes.
I'd say more than that.
I just don't see how we can sustain the way they're wanting this to go.
Well, and not only that, but there's a bill in the Senate right now, and I think they're trying to work up something like they snuck it in with like a stimulus package or something. I don't know if there's like another stimulus or what's going on, but currently, if you make a transaction over $10,000, the government flags your accounts and they want to know where that money came from, blah, blah. They're apparently wanting to do that now and lower that to $600. So anytime you get a paycheck that's more than $600, or anytime that you make a purchase for more than $600, I don't know if you've been to Walmart lately, but you can do that in a week.
Yeah, you can do that in a day. You know,
That-
Absolutely.
yeah, go down there and get you a nice TV. You're out $600.
Every bit, yeah, 100%.
You know,
I think that is a terrible. That's very bad for us as Americans, and I think that's setting ourselves up for an economic collapse.
Well, the worst part is you're going to add another layer of government to look at this. Yeah, I mean, we got what, 350 million people in this country, and if there's more than that now. 'Cause we got a whole bunch of coming in here that aren't even, we really don't know anything about.
All
But
right, Tony.
what I'm saying is, they're going to have a larger bureaucracy just to monitor that $600. And where these people getting paid, and a federal employee, they don't work for nothing. They get paid pretty well. And you've got a whole nother layer of these people and who pays for it? We do. And that's just, I'm sorry. I just have a hard time with a lot of things the government does.
I'll be honest with you. Being in the trucking industry, everything for truckers. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you go to a truck stop and buy a hamburger. It's more expensive because of it's a niche market. That they know that these guys have to pay extra because they have to. It's a necessity. They got to pay higher for diesel. They got to pay higher for their supplies. They got to pay higher for the maintenance on their vehicles. They got to pay higher for groceries. If you run out on the road, you've still got to get. Oh, did we lose someone? We lost
Oh,
Seth.
you know what my favorite thing is when I'm out on the road at the truck stop? Corn dogs. They got the best corn dogs of all.
Oh, definitely. Did we lose Seth?
Seth,
We may have. Are we still recording?
Yeah, it just was. Yeah, it says that I'm recording us now.
Okay, well just keep recording.
just keep
But that's what I'm saying is it's truckers have to pay more money to deliver your goods than anyone else. And not only that, they are more regulated now than airline pilots. They are just cruising these guys through these driving academies at these larger companies. And there's a lot of people who are ending up on the road that shouldn't be on the road. And granted, some of the regulations are okay, but this hours of service stuff that they've got going on is nuts. If you start your day at 8 a.m., you have 14 hours to work that day. That's 10 p.m. roughly. And in that time, you can drive 11 of those hours. The other 3 hours, total your 14, is for like loading, unloading, fuel, stuff like that. Now, let's say you start your day at 8 o'clock and you pull into a shipper at 10 or at 8:30. You've only been driving for 30 minutes. And that shipper takes 10 hours to load you, because now there's been several times when I was driving over the road that I had to wait 10 hours in a dock, and they load you. Now you've got, what is that? 10 hours, 10 and a half. You've got 2.5 hours you can drive. You're not going to get very far.
Yeah.
But
they count the time that you set still.
yeah, they count the time that you said. From the time you start at 8 a.m., you have 14 hours to finish your day. So now that 10 hours that you're sitting in that dock where you could be sleeping and resting and doing whatever, you may be well rested and ready to go because you probably slept the whole time or whatever. And then at 10 p.m., when your 14 hours is up and done, you have to park your truck for another 10 hours. So right there, that load is taking 20 hours right there, and you have drove 2 hours.
Wow. I didn't know that.
And today we went to Walmart, and those shelves are empty. I mean, empty. I've never seen Walmart in Hazard that empty. Usually they're pretty good about keeping everything nice and neat and cleaned up. I mean, they were empty. And then so we came back, and
What was that one aisle we went down? I mean, they didn't hardly have anything.
Yeah.
There was the dog in the cat aisle.
Yes, over in the dog food and cat food.
Yeah.
They were empty.
They were
The
empty.
shelves
There was
were empty.
nothing.
Really?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and so then when I come back, we had forgot to get bread. So I ran a couple miles up to the dollar store to just get some bread. Well, guess what? The dollar store is empty.
Really?
There's nothing in it. Yes. I mean it, they've got stuff in there, but it's not like the shelves aren't stocked. There's big holes in it in every aisle. That it's like they're not getting their shipments in. And that right there is gonna be
Sorry
bad.
about that, guys.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Oh, Jesus. Sorry about that, everyone.
It's all right. We just kept right on talking, so
Oh, it's all good.
It would be-
It was still recording somehow. My internet just was out.
well, we but like I said,
Good old
Most of
hotel internet.
both of those stores we went into today were just empty. And I'm going to say that it's the truckers, trying to get things here and there or whatever, and they're just being overwhelmed. They
Well,
can't get the goods where they need to be.
the thing is, the regulations are hindering a lot of guys. The cost of everything for those trucks are hindering a lot of the insurances are ridiculous. But you're also looking now that the price has raised on fuel, and these guys are the rate cons, the rate per mile or for the loads have either stayed the same or dropped significantly because there are a lot of trucks on the road, and there's a lot of guys who are taking cheap freight. And the guys who are doing it because you see the trucks that look like they're falling apart as they're driving past you. Those are the ones who are taking 80 cents a mile, and they're not making any money. They're not able to maintain their vehicles. For reputable truck drivers who want to do well and take pride in their rigs and take pride in delivering safe, efficient, safely and efficiently, they can afford to keep their trucks on the road because it takes money, lots of money, to keep these trucks going.
Huh.
And it's
Sorry, I get worked up on this stuff.
well, and like I say, and you get into just the way things have been run over the last 8 months, and in my view, it's going to get worse.
It's gonna get worse.
And,
It gets worse every day. You
it-
turn the news on, it's like a Twilight Zone
Yeah,
movie.
and that's what we saw on the news there today. You got all these immigrants coming in illegally, and they're saying, "Oh yeah, the borders are open, come on in," blah blah blah. Trump was doing bad stuff. Well, guess what they're doing now? They went back and reenacted some of Trump's rules because they can't handle the number of people that are coming in. So, but when he was in there, oh my God, everything's bad. He's he hates everybody and all this and that. But our borders were probably more secure under this president than they have been in the last 100 years.
Absolutely. I mean, you hear from a lot of
Not this president.
No,
The previous president.
Yeah, the previous president. I'm sorry, I didn't mean
yeah,
not
Trump.
this president.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
what I'm
definitely not
saying is,
Biden.
by coming in, the worst thing that a president could do is file executive actions.
And that's all he's done.
And on day one, what was
From
it?
day one.
For 47 on the
Yes.
first day, he
Right.
signed executive orders on the first day. You don't do that. That's that's why we have a Congress. That's why we have a Senate. You tell them what you want, and they try to work through it.
Well, I don't have any. I don't have
that
any.
executive order as a way
have-
to make them work on it.
I have zero confidence in our Congress and Senate right now because too many people have made a career out of it. They need term limits on those guys and girls. And the fact is that
Mitch McConnell.
they can't get anything done because they're so into fighting with each other and trying to sneak in BS. That's not the way when the people finally stand up and say enough is enough, it's going to be a great and terrifying day in this country.
Okay, let's kind of drop this because we could sit here and go all night. probably tomorrow on our grievances.
You guys should definitely have
Let's change
Dr.
it up.
Richard
You know,
Van.
have you ever seen a UFO?
Yes. But PT, you want me to try to get you guys to have Dr. Richard Van Dam maybe on tomorrow or soon?
Yeah, that might work.
Tomorrow? He'll do it tomorrow.
Definitely soon. Probably not tomorrow, but definitely soon, maybe in the next month or so.
He's off on Sundays. That would be a perfect day for him to come on because he's off on the weekend. He's a doctor.
Well, let us get some questions together. So
And he has some good vaccine questions as well. I mean, I asked him about the
Maybe
vaccine.
next Sunday.
Yeah, maybe that might
Maybe
be
next Sunday.
Work on next
Well,
Sunday.
Tomorrow we got to move livestock.
next Sunday we've got next Sunday we're already booked for the day. We've got the big episode, the listener requested episode we're doing. So let's try for 2 weeks from tomorrow.
Absolutely.
2 weeks then.
Oh yeah, I can get him, add him on Facebook for sure. He'll do your podcast, man. He is he's gonna try to
He knows everybody.
He really
definitely promote running and stuff, like
Well,
every candidate does.
When we get off here, send me his information if you don't care.
Absolutely, he's a great guy. Like
Okay.
every candidate is definitely gonna try to get in front of the eyes and stuff, and definitely doing stuff virtual is the only way to do stuff right now. So I mean, he'll definitely do it. He loves doing podcasts and stuff, man, and definitely. But yeah, I've seen a UFO before, and I actually told the story on Here at You Bubblegum. Shout out to them; they run a great podcast. And the story was about me as a 10-year-old kid outside in the swimming pool. And I just looked up in the sky. That's what they say. That's what a UFO researcher said on one of my buddies' podcasts. Just most people just don't look up.
That's true.
Well, and that's kind of what I was saying, that there was a higher number last year of sightings, and I feel like it was because a lot of people were just quarantined and they just walked outside to look up. And
Absolutely.
Well,
I didn't see this last year. I seen it when I was 10. It was like you already know the story. It was a dish-like thing, but it had red on the thing, and it went super fast. I only seen it for about 2 or 3 seconds.
well, see, that's well, you know, like I said, the pandemic, and then right in the middle of the pandemic is when the Navy or the Defense Department released those videos that you're seeing on the news every other day now.
well, yeah, because they couldn't hide it anymore.
They
People
really
were
didn't make a big
looking up and they could
stink
see
about
the
it.
stuff.
You know, they really didn't make a big stink about it because all you ever saw on the news was, oh my God, we're all dying from this virus. You know, so it kind of got put on the back burner. And now here a year later, every show you see on TV, I mean, even the mainstream news are actually getting into this a little bit, you know. And so that, I think, is, instead of looking at the ground, watching where they're going, now they're looking at the sky to see if they can actually see something.
Absolutely. And I know you have a Bigfoot story. Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off, P2.
No, dude, you're good. You're good. Go ahead.
Go ahead and say what you was going to say. My bad.
My mind works like a Rolodex. I lost it.
I know you got a Bigfoot story, Snowman, if you want to talk about that.
Oh,
I know you've told it on.
Oh, yeah, no, I've never seen a Bigfoot. You know, I'm trying to keep an open mind, but what got me interested in the paranormal was, you know, I was probably 9, 10 years old, and I lived in downtown Pikeville. And then all of a sudden, in the newspaper, and I mean, there was a story in there every week about this Bigfoot over on Bent Mountain, going between Pikeville and Williams. And Bent Mountain was, oh my God, that was awful. Now you from Pikeville to Williams, you can be there in about 20 minutes. It used to take almost an hour to drive that far. So this road is a 2-lane road. It's curvy, so you can't get any kind of speed. Well, these stories, this Bigfoot supposedly was jumping out and beating around on people's cars as they came by. So I followed this thing for weeks. And then it finally come out that it was a guy in a gorilla suit. And, you know, I think somebody shot him was the reason he got caught or whatever. But anyway, I was kind of hooked because I thought it was interesting. That interested me. And so now, you know, after that, it was like, you know, I would, which, you know, we didn't have the internet, you know, so the only thing that we could get was just whatever they showed on TV. And really, you know, I just really liked the Bigfoot, liked UFO stuff. Wasn't so much into ghosts until I actually saw a couple and started watching that Ghost Hunters on the side.
Oh, was that the ghost that got you? Was that her ex-husband? The ghost you said
No.
that got you interested in it?
No. The one that really got me interested in it was, I worked for a paint company over in Pikeville, and we were having to paint a Walmart over in Grundy, Virginia. Well, they bring all the, you know, this Walmart in Grundy, Virginia is 3 stories tall. There's 2 levels of a parking garage underneath Walmart.
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
Okay, well, for some kind of political reasons or whatever, they dragged the steel in there and lay it there, and it's, you know, 6-8 months before they ever start erecting it. So all the steel starts rusting. They have to paint it. So we, you know, we're over there every day there for about 3 or 4 months. I mean, every day, hauling as much as paint as we could get in that truck. And so I was took one of the deliveries and went to, got up there at Shelbyana, went through the traffic light, started down the 2-lane road there going to Justiceville. And right as I got to the first place there in Justiceville, on my left-hand side, I see this little kid standing up on the bank, right next to the road. And there's a van coming in the opposite direction. And as that van going by, I see this kid take off running down into the road. And I see the kid's head through the glass in the van, you know, the back windows and stuff. And I locked this truck up because I knew that I had just killed somebody. And as that van went by, there was nothing there. And that kind of got me really thinking about it. That kind of weirded me out too, because I thought for sure I killed him. And,
Yeah, that
you know,
definitely would be creepy.
I never did any kind of research to see if the child got killed there or, you know, anything like that. It was just, that was probably the weirdest thing that ever happened.
Yeah. You know, they say that little kid spirits are more than likely demonic spirits. That's what they say, because they want to come like they're innocent to people and stuff. That most of them, not all of them.
Well, the worst part of that
They're
whole thing,
conductors of energy. That's why little kids can actually see apparitions and that.
and you know,
That's what they say.
the worst part about the whole thing was I was shaking after that. And after I finally calmed down, you know, then it took like a half hour to pick the seat cushion out and crack my ass because I had tightened up. I thought for sure I had killed somebody. It was bad.
Wow, man, that's definitely a interesting story, and you guys are definitely gonna have fun ghost hunting for sure. It is fun. I've thought about getting back into it, but not for myself. I thought about getting back into it to help people out with hauntings and stuff, because I mean, for a little bit, I did it. I was pretty successful as a ghost hunter. I ghost hunted the Cynthiana Theater there, the old theater in Cynthiana, Kentucky. And it's one of the most, I believe it's in the top 10 places of the most haunted places in Kentucky. It's on there. And I've been to the Jailer's Inn in Bardstown, Kentucky as well.
Oh, I've heard
Actually,
of that.
yeah, it's creepy. There was a little kid little kid spirit that in one room moves the shirt and the shower curtains and stuff. It's
Sure.
supposedly a little kid that like died in the room or something.
Yeah. Well, one place I would love to go
It's called the garden room.
is up there at UPI in that Wickham Hall. That used to be Pikeville Methodist Hospital. And when they built the new hospital and moved out, I guess the college bought it, turned it into dorms, and that place is supposed to be haunted. and I would love to get in there, but we'll have to do that soon because I think it is scheduled here over the next few years to be torn down and a new dorm built in its place.
Do we know anybody that's at U Pike?
Not anymore. I used to, but
I don't either. I know I can get in a couple places, ghost hunting and stuff. I mean, I could get inside of I might be able to get into Cynthiana Opera House. I'm not sure if they're owned by the same people or what. It's the Theater Opera House.
Where's Cynthiana at?
that's up north. It's on its way. That's on its way to close to Cincinnati, and
I believe so. Yeah, that's
Cynthiana.
Covington. It's
I've
on the
heard of it.
other side, like right over there of
Yeah.
Lexington. It's on this side. It's not above it. Was you talking about above or beside
I
it?
was thinking it was up on 75.
Oh, that's Covington.
Maybe. No, not that far up. It's just a few miles up through there. I was thinking.
Oh, it's about a 45 to an hour drive from Lexington.
Okay.
It's close to Bardstown. Is a creepy place as well, man. The energy in that town, just when you're walking the streets in that town, is creepy, man. It's a small town,
Yeah.
but it's one of the I believe it's one of the top haunted places in the state of Kentucky.
Well, and have you seen what's going on in Bardstown over the last 10 years?
My car in light traffic.
Yeah.
Here are your direct.
It started out in 2013 with the murder of the police officer, and then a few years later, it was I think it's been like 6 or 7 strange, violent murders in Bardstown, which is like you said, a small town. And now with the FBI is involved up there trying to locate a lady that went missing 3-4 years ago, something like that.
No, I hadn't heard enough about that.
And that speaking of people that gone missing and stuff, I know somebody that does a really good job on doing podcasts about local missing people and missing people in the country, and that is the Mountain Mysteries. He'd be a good guest for you guys as well.
Mountain Mysteries.
Yeah.
The Mountain Mysteries.
I listened to him. I think on the Spooky Family podcast, and
I had him on too one time. Him and Earl. I had him and Earl, the Bigfoot researcher, on at the same time.
and he was very interested.
I would be interested because I have an uncle that's passed away now, but he always, when he had a little snoot too much, would tell us all the story about when he killed a state trooper. And I actually tried to contact Kentucky State Police and see if they had like unsolved murders of troopers or whatever that I might have some information, and they said they didn't have nothing like that. So I would love to talk to him. Maybe, I don't know if it's true or not, but if it's true, I think his family should know.
What county is that in that he supposedly killed the cop?
Well, I would say Floyd County, because none of my family had a car that would run outside the holler, so they couldn't have went too terribly far.
You know what year that was supposed to be?
It had to be in it had to be in the 60s or mid to early 70s.
I can definitely give that information to more people than just him.
Well, good, because I'd like to find out if it's true. He always told the story that he got pulled over and my other uncle was with him, and when the trooper walked up to the window, he shot him with a 38.
I'll talk to you about that off air for sure. Yeah, I'll definitely talk to you about that off air for sure, because
yeah, that's something I'd be
definitely want to find. Absolutely, that's definitely sad for sure.
Yeah,
I love police. Our police are amazing.
Right, exactly. And that's why I want to give maybe some closure to somebody, you know?
Absolutely. He might have some kids out here and stuff, or grandkids. That probably still sad to this day about that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Floyd County, what post is that on? Is that the Pikeville post or the Hassett?
Yeah, that's post 9. The Pike will post.
Oh, I got you. Definitely, man. He would definitely be down to help you with that for sure. Chris would.
Cool.
Well,
Cool.
He does a great job with that podcast.
I would actually like to talk with some of the Bigfoot researchers that you talk to, and actually maybe see if we can't get out and go with them one time. I would love to see how they do things. You know, how they investigate
Definitely.
and what they find. You know,
Yeah.
I,
Dog
you know,
man's the
me
most
personally,
interesting one.
me personally, until somebody can show me proof that it's real or not real, I'm gonna take in all the facts. I can make up my own mind.
Yes, I try
Yeah.
to stay open-minded to everything.
And same thing with UFOs and ghosts and this and that. Until somebody can, and like I said, I've seen. So I'm a little bit more of a ghost fan or believer now than I used to be. And now the UFOs have kind of always held my interest, but I'm a science fiction geek, so I love that stuff. But now that it's actually, they're actually getting proof that they can't explain some of this stuff. And they're not just telling us it's a swamp gas or a weather balloon or something like that. Now they're actually saying we don't know what this is. So that's really piqued my interest.
Absolutely.
The only thing that really pissed me off is if they've had the technology that for like 0 point energy, where you're just getting the energy off the magnetic field of the earth, that we could have been living a lot better than what we are right now. Because now you got power bills and everything, and it all comes down to the dollar. And that's what would piss me off. They had this technology, but we've been paying these guys, all these years to, get power, and it's not very cost effective the way they make it. That's just me rambling.
Wouldn't put it past them though.
I'm sorry now.
I said I wouldn't put it past them.
Well, like I said, that's just like, the gas and oil and all that stuff. As long as they can make $1 off of it, we're kind of slaves.
Okay, we're steering back.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm sorry.
That's okay. We're,
Okay,
we're
okay,
trying to stay on point.
I'm sorry, I can't.
I'm-
You're fine, man. On here we talk about politics all the time, man. I've had people about the vaccine and everything. We talk about everything, man. It's all good. We talk about the riots and all that stuff. We talk about all that stuff. It's fine, man. I've had political candidates on here like crazy. Definitely for free speech, for sure.
Well,
Right.
And the politicians, in an interview, I would love to get, their take on some of this stuff that's running through my head, and then, at the end we'll let them, spout out there what they're running on, the policies or their stance on certain things. But, we're more of a paranormal trucker, so I would love to get a politician on there, and ask them, okay, do you believe in this stuff? And if you get elected, what are you going to do to help us get the information out?
Well, yeah,
That-
we're normal, but we're also trucker, so we need to know about trucker stuff too.
Absolutely. And you guys will, I promise you, Dr. Richard Van Dam will be on for sure. I can get him on your podcast anytime.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
All right, I'm not seeing anything about state troopers in Floyd County, but I am seeing a deputy sheriff killed on Highway 80 in Garrett in 1972.
Yeah, well, my family lived right outside Garrett. And Garrett's in Floyd County.
Yeah.
That would have been the time frame.
That's
Nice.
creepy.
Deputy Lawrence Conley, Deputy Sheriff Lawrence Conley was shot and killed in an ambush as he sat in his car at a service station on Highway 80 in Garrett at around 11:45 p.m.
And it's unsolved.
At some point, someone. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, it's unsolved. Offender not available.
Wow. Could be some truth
That
to
could
it.
be it.
And
That could be
it
some
may
truth
not have been
to
a
it.
state police, you know.
May not have been a state. And he did ambush him. That's
Yeah.
what the story was.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Said he was sitting in his car at a gas station and he closed one out and somebody walked up and shot him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's weird.
Yeah, that is.
Let me think. Billy was born in 52.
70,
62,
72, he'd have been about
72,
20.
and he'd been 20 years old.
Yeah. That could be about right.
Wow, that's really weird. That's awfully coincidental.
Yeah. Oh, that's yeah, that kind of, you know, and I'm not a believer in coincidences.
It said it was a Floyd County deputy sheriff. So I mean, if you think it might be related, maybe reach out to the sheriff's department.
Yeah.
That is so interesting.
But
Wow.
yeah, that's crazy.
Wait a minute. I have technical difficulties. I'll be right back.
Yeah, let's pull this rig over to the truck.
I got to pull a rig. Oh, I gotta get me a corn dog.
No, that you know, and I told another ghost story the other day, and I hadn't thought about it for years, and during that after the '77 flood over in Pikeville, my dad was one of 8 children, and most of his brothers and sisters lived in the area, and every one of them got flooded. So it was me and my sister and one of my cousins. I can't remember which one it was. Went to my grandmother's house that lived over in Buffalo, and if you go down to the Pikeville Airport, it's about a mile. You can walk about a mile and go down the hill, and you'd be in Buffalo Creek. Well, she lived right at the junction of the White Oak Fort and Buffalo. The house sit right in between both creeks. So all the family loads all their clothes up in garbage bags and takes them to her house. And we set a ringer washer up in the creek and washed the mud out of everybody's clothes. We did this for a week. And so my grandmother had a dog. I don't know what kind of dog it was. It hated the grandkids. It's meaner than shit. But it had a little collar and something, a little chain or something on it that jingled. And then at some point, they lived in a log home. And at some point, they had put linoleum through the entire place. So that dog would walk and you'd hear them toenails click, 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 you know. And over in front of the old house was the fireplace, and they had bricked it shut and put a gas heater in front of it. And that dog would go over there every day and make a big circle and lay down in front of that heater. Well, the dog passed away. And while we're staying over there, me and my sister and my cousin slept in the living room. And every night you would hear click, 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 and that little dinging of the whatever was on her collar. And you could tell it would make a circle in front of that fireplace and lay down. And that was that was kind of weird. But we heard that, you know, the whole time we were there.
I'm back. You missed me?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I had to refuel.
Well, I have to let my hellhound out. He's whining at the door. You guys can talk for a few moments? It's by yourselves.
No, we're here.
Good. All right, I'll be back.
All right.
Yeah, man, that's definitely ghosts are definitely real for sure.
Well, I'm like I said, I'm more of a believer in it. Like I said, while all this, well, when was it? Yeah, it was during that time in January. We actually saw shadows, shadow figures, and
I
Marge.
saw Mike walk by. I saw Snowman walk by the window with his work shirt on, and I went to the door to open it to greet him, and he wasn't there. He wasn't even in the driveway. He hadn't even gotten home from work yet. But I seen him just clear as day. It was a bright sunny day, and he wears a fluorescent orange uniform T-shirt they have to wear every day. So, and it was bright, and I seen it just as soon as I've seen him sitting right here right now, and it wasn't him.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, I don't remember doing any haunting, so I'm pretty sure it wasn't me.
It was your clone.
Oh God forbid if there's a clone of me. I don't know if the world will stand it.
Well, I mean, Joe Biden is clone.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, we definitely couldn't stand that.
What's that?
I said we definitely couldn't stand that.
No.
So
I did hear a rumor that they actually have some Joe Biden lookalikes. Like sometimes they let him just stay in the house and let the lookalikes do his speeches and stuff.
well,
Wouldn't surprise me.
wouldn't surprise me. I mean,
Nothing they do surprises me anymore.
and one of the comedians on one of these shows was talking about him, and he goes home or goes somewhere every weekend.
He's on vacation this
Yeah,
weekend.
he's on vacation this weekend at his home, and they were making a joke said about his mental capacity and said that's the only place he can remember where the bathrooms are, and I'm sitting there thinking, oh my God, that makes a lot of sense, but
I bet he's got toilet paper.
yeah, he probably does.
Fast.
But what bothers me is, to me, it's obvious that he has some in a mental decline. Bless his heart, and shame on his
Mental.
family. Shame on his family for
Putting him through
putting him
that
through that.
for the dollar. They
yes.
pushed him for the dollar.
And it was, he wasn't the best candidate at the time.
For anything.
And no, because of that, and he hid out, wouldn't answer questions, and now they're even cutting his mics off while he's up there talking because he's going to say something that they don't want out. I'm sorry, that is not the way this government should run. I would just love to have somebody go up there and speak their mind, and and have all our politicians do their job and not play politics, and they can't do it. I made a joke one time. I said they need to take a big old saw and cut Washington D.C. out of the United States and shove it out in the ocean and tell them, any one of you bastards come off that island, you ain't gonna make it. Because we need to start over. I mean, not revolution. We have a good system of government if it works right.
You're in a hotel room. Are you on vacation?
Yeah.
Are you? Are you on the beach?
No, I wish.
Oh, okay. All right. I don't feel so bad now.
No, I do this every day, but here lately I haven't been able to because just hypothetical. This is just hypothetical. Computers shutting down and trees on power lines. That might stop the daily podcast. Just hypothetical.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy what technology we can do now? Uh-oh.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
He's got a new toy.
Yeah. Can you see
Look,
what it says?
do you see what it says?
What's that?
His
By
toy.
me.
It's
You guys
his
are
new
in Perry
toy.
County, you said?
What's that now?
You guys live in Perry County, you said?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes, I moved here from north. I grew up by Covington.
Oh, yeah? In Ohio? Hamilton or something?
No, in Kentucky. I'm in
Oh.
Kentucky, but I'm on the river right before you go over to Ohio.
Oh yeah.
Matter of fact, my house, the river was my backyard, literally, and I
That's,
loved
that's,
it.
that's a nice backyard.
It was a beautiful backyard. It was a great childhood. It was
Good
wonderful.
fishing.
Yeah, we
He's got his face right where my face is supposed to be.
Where do you?
see that's Don Wrinkles right there.
Oh, Don Wrinkle.
Oh,
Would
do
you
you
sit
guys live
down?
close to? You
Sit
guys
down.
live close to Walmart and
Don't play with
Hazard?
your foot.
Yeah, we're about 5 miles.
You're not too far.
Yeah.
It's convenient. We can run up there whenever we need to get
Oh,
something.
you guys live close to Combs then, probably.
No, we live out
We live toward Buckhorn.
out like you're going to Jackson,
Yeah,
out 15 a few miles. And
yeah. I'm not
Lake
county.
Buckhorn isn't that far from where we're at.
no, I think we're about 10, 15 miles, something like that. It's not real far.
No.
I'm
And,
from Knox.
You're
we
from Knott County?
Yeah,
see
I live in Knox County too.
I lived in Pikeville.
I had
Yeah.
family in Lackey. Isn't that Knott County?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, Lackey
Yeah.
is. It's right outside Garrett.
Yes. Think so.
You cross the railroad tracks and go up that way, and it's right there.
Yeah. See, I grew up in
I'm
Pikeville.
familiar with that part of Knox County.
And we I've lived in that area most of my life, and I moved over here. When did I move over in
November.
November of last year.
Was it just? No, it was year 4 last, wasn't it?
No, it's last year.
Just last year?
Yep.
Lord.
Has it been that long?
No, it seems like we've been together for 20 or 30 years,
Oh.
actually.
Gosh.
I know.
But
Seems like it.
where we live now, it is peaceful.
That's a good thing.
It is peaceful.
It is peaceful.
know,
It's beautiful.
You
up
don't
here.
have all the hustle and bustle, and
We're very lucky.
yeah,
We're in a holler all by ourselves.
yeah, we're the only ones living all.
In the
Oh,
middle
you
of-
used to live in downtown Pikeville. Wow.
Yeah, and this is just, I love
nowhere.
it over here. It's quiet. I get home from work, I can sit down and actually relax.
Oh no, Nene. Come on.
Absolutely, man.
Behave.
And what interviews do you guys got upcoming, PT?
Honestly, just the two so far, and we're still trying to work those out, the details, scheduling and things, and then hopefully we can get the politician. Hopefully we can get him on here. But other than that, really, we're going to do a few longer episodes that we're going to be kind of diving into some pretty deep topics that's going to require pretty much the whole episode. So at the moment right now, we've just got 2 lined up. So hopefully in the next 2 or 3 weeks, we'll have at least one of them on.
That'll be great.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Absolutely.
Who have you
But,
got coming up?
What's that?
Who have you got coming up?
Oh man, I don't know.
You don't know.
No, I write it down on the schedule. Oh, Monday I got Malcolm Johnson from Pikeville. He's a local singer. I do know
Okay.
that. Yeah, he plays. Also, he plays at the Broken Throne Brewing in Pikeville, Kentucky. Wednesday, this upcoming Wednesday at 7 p.m. Everybody should come out to that for sure.
Good deal.
The rest of my schedule, I don't know, and hopefully the computer will be working by then because the computer definitely has way better quality of audio and visual.
Well, honestly, man, I think your cell phone's done pretty good today.
Yeah,
I think
I
so
think
too.
it did too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to be cell phone quality, it's definitely a lot clearer than my webcam is. I know that. That's what I'm looking at.
It's just easier for me to upload it on YouTube and stuff on the computer and stuff, and Patreon and
Oh, definitely.
Anchor, which Anchor is definitely hard to use. I mean, I'm being serious. Anchor is like, I haven't even got many listens on Anchor. It's weird. I had one listener from Germany though. It was weird.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
We just got on an Anchor.
A little bit. And we're, I can't figure it out. Snowman's the technical one.
Yeah, okay. Well, I've actually got all 5 of our episodes loaded on Anchor. which right now you can listen on Anchor and you can listen on Spotify. There are, I think, 7 other platforms that you can get. I just have to get the time to sit down and set up the accounts,
Apple's one.
and it'll automatically put them on there. Do I now?
Apple's one of them. iTunes is one of the platforms.
Yeah, that's one of them, and the Google podcast, and
Yeah,
there's a couple others. I've only heard of the Twitch. So there's about 7 of them you can get on, and I've just got to sit down and get the accounts opened up, and then it will be playing on all of
absolutely. And I definitely want to thank. What's that, man?
I was gonna say it's like wrangling cats to get me to be able to do anything. My work schedule is nuts right now, so I've turned it all over to Snowman. I'm letting him handle all that.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I want to thank the Paranormal Trucker podcast for being on. It was definitely an honor having you guys on. And yeah, check them out every Sunday on YouTube and Anchor and Spotify. And definitely, man, they do some great stuff. They have some great content, and be on the lookout for some interviews that they're going to be doing with definitely Earl Mullins for sure.
Mhm.
And then one that we won't talk about. And
Not
then
yet, no.
they'll definitely have one with Dr. Richard Van Dam as well. Well, I want to thank you. I want to thank the Paranormal Trucker podcast for being on. I want to thank you guys for subscribing. Without you guys, this wouldn't be possible. Y'all have a good night, and God bless.